Anger is a natural emotion that everyone feels from time to time. It's completely normal to get angry when things don't go as planned, or when we feel hurt or misunderstood. However, it's important to realize that anger can be both helpful and harmful. Anger helps us recognize when something is wrong. It motivates us to act or set boundaries. For example, if someone disrespects us, our anger may push us to defend ourselves. But if we don't control it properly, anger can damage relationships, harm our health, and lead to poor decisions. So why do we get angry? Anger often comes from frustration, feeling disrespected, or feeling helpless. When something goes wrong, our first reaction is often to get angry. But the key to managing anger is understanding that it's not the anger itself that's the problem. It's how we deal with it that matters. When we experience anger, it's helpful to ask ourselves, why am I angry? This allows us to better understand the root of our emotion. Sometimes, we get angry because we are actually feeling afraid, sad, or tired. By understanding the true cause of our anger, we can respond in a more controlled way. It's important to remember that anger, in itself, is not necessarily bad. It's a sign that something in our life needs attention. However, how we respond to that anger is crucial. When we learn to control and express anger in healthy ways, it can actually be a powerful force for good. But when we don't manage it well, it can create problems in all areas of our lives, from personal relationships to work situations. The first step in learning to control your anger is recognizing that it is a normal part of being human. We all feel it, and it's okay. But the real challenge is to not let it control us. Anger is just one emotion among many, and it's our job to understand it and learn how to manage it effectively. In the next parts of this video, we will explore some practical techniques for managing your anger and using it in a healthy way. But for now, take a moment to think about the last time you were angry. What was the cause? And how did you respond? By answering these questions, you're already taking the first step toward controlling your anger. The first step in controlling your anger is recognizing when it's happening. Anger often builds up slowly, and many people don't realize they're getting angry until it's too late. The earlier you can recognize the signs of anger, the better chance you have of managing it before it gets out of control. Your body gives you clear signals when you're angry. Some people feel their heart race, while others may notice their muscles tense up. You might feel your face flush or experience a tightness in your chest. These physical signs can help you identify when you're starting to get angry, even before you fully realize it. It's also important to notice how your mind reacts. Anger often leads to negative thoughts like, "This isn't fair," or "I can't believe this is happening." When you start thinking like this, it's a clear signal that you're beginning to feel angry. If you don't catch these thoughts early, they can quickly escalate and lead to outbursts. Your emotions also play a big role in recognizing anger. When you feel hurt, frustrated, or disrespected, it's easy for anger to creep in. Recognizing these emotions can help you stop the cycle before it spirals out of control. When you feel the urge to get angry, try to pause and ask yourself, what am I really feeling right now? One way to recognize the signs of anger is to pay attention to your behavior. If you find yourself raising your voice, clenching your fists, or wanting to shout, these are clear signs that your anger is building. In these moments, it's important to take a step back and give yourself some space. Recognizing the early signs of anger can be difficult, but with practice, it becomes easier. One way to help yourself is to keep a journal. After moments of anger, write down what happened. What did you feel in your body? What thoughts crossed your mind? Over time, you'll start to see patterns and become more aware of your triggers. The goal is to catch your anger early, before it takes over. By recognizing the signs of anger, you give yourself the opportunity to take a deep breath, step back, and choose how to respond. The more you practice this, the easier it will become. Next, we'll look at how to manage these feelings of anger once you've identified them. Stay with us as we explore powerful techniques for controlling your anger in a healthy way. Anger is an intense emotion, and when it takes control, our bodies respond in ways that make it even harder to calm down. The fight or flight response kicks in, causing an increase in heart rate, muscle tension, and rapid breathing. This physical reaction prepares us for action, but it often worsens the feeling of anger. When we are in this state, we tend to react impulsively, saying or doing things we later regret. The key to managing this emotion is to learn how to regain control over our bodies and minds. One of the most effective ways to calm down when we feel angry is by focusing on our breath. Breathing is something we do automatically, but when we become mindful of it, we can use it as a tool to relax. Deep breathing helps to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which counteracts the fight or flight response, helping to calm our heart rate and relax our muscles. When we consciously slow down our breath, we signal to our brain that we are safe and in control, rather than reacting out of fear or frustration. A simple and highly effective breathing technique is called the 4-7-8 method. This technique is easy to remember and can be practiced anywhere, whether you're at home, work, or even in the middle of an argument. To begin, you inhale deeply through your nose for 4 seconds, hold the breath for 7 seconds, and then slowly exhale for 8 seconds. The extended exhale is key to activating your body's relaxation response. This technique helps slow down your heart rate, relax your muscles, and focus your mind on something positive, your breath, rather than the anger you're feeling. Another technique to try is diaphragmatic breathing, which involves breathing deeply into your diaphragm rather than your chest. When you breathe into your diaphragm, your stomach expands rather than your chest, indicating that you are taking slow, controlled breaths. This type of breathing encourages deeper relaxation and reduces the tension that can build up in the body during moments of anger. To practice this, place one hand on your chest and the other on your stomach. As you inhale, make sure your stomach rises while your chest stays still. This practice helps you become more aware of your breathing patterns, allowing you to control your emotional state more effectively. Another well-known technique is box breathing, which is widely used by professionals, including military personnel, to calm their minds in stressful situations. Box breathing involves 4 steps, each lasting 4 seconds. First, inhale deeply for 4 seconds. Then, hold your breath for another 4 seconds. After that, exhale slowly for 4 seconds, and finally, hold your breath again for 4 seconds. This cycle is repeated for several minutes. The slow rhythm of the breath helps to clear your mind and bring you back to a place of calm. The beauty of these breathing techniques is their simplicity and effectiveness. You don't need any special equipment, and you can practice them anywhere. Whether you're feeling frustrated at work, angry in traffic, or upset in a conversation, breathing techniques offer an immediate way to regain control over your emotions. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to calm yourself down when you feel anger building up. In conclusion, learning to control your breath during moments of anger is a powerful tool for emotional regulation. It is a simple but effective method to reduce stress, lower your heart rate, and bring your body back to a state of calm. By using breathing techniques regularly, you can train your body and mind to respond to anger with a sense of calm and control. When anger starts to rise, it often feels like an uncontrollable wave that is building up inside of us. We might start feeling tense, and our thoughts become negative, as if everything is going wrong. In these moments, it can be difficult to think clearly and respond rationally. That's why one of the best ways to control anger is to simply take a break. Walking away from the situation allows you to create some space between yourself and the anger, giving you time to cool down before reacting. Taking a break does not mean avoiding the problem. In fact, it's quite the opposite. By stepping away from the situation, you give yourself the opportunity to reflect and gain perspective on the issue. Sometimes, when we're in the middle of an argument or a stressful situation, our emotions cloud our judgment. We may say things we don't mean or make decisions that we'll later regret. By taking a step back, we can avoid these impulsive reactions and give ourselves the time to respond thoughtfully. When you feel anger building, take a deep breath and excuse yourself from the situation if possible. If you're at work, for example, step outside for a short walk. If you're at home, go to another room for a few minutes. The goal is to create physical distance from the source of your anger. This distance helps you to reset and approach the situation with a calmer mindset. If you can, try to use this time away from the situation to reflect. Think about why you're angry. What is the root cause of your frustration? Are there any alternative solutions to the problem? Often, we become angry because we feel like something is unfair or because we believe we are being mistreated. Taking a break allows us to see whether the situation is truly as serious as it feels in the moment, or if we are overreacting due to our emotions. It's important to remember that taking a break is not about ignoring the problem. It's about giving yourself the chance to calm down so that you can address the issue in a constructive way. When you return to the situation after taking a break, you will be in a better state of mind to communicate clearly and make better decisions. Another helpful technique during a break is to engage in a calming activity. For example, you might listen to soothing music, read a book, or even practice some gentle stretching. These activities can help distract your mind from the anger and allow you to refocus on something positive. The key is to engage in something that will help you relax and shift your mindset away from the source of frustration. In some cases, taking a break can be as simple as stepping outside for fresh air or drinking a glass of water. These small actions can serve as a reminder that you are in control and that you don't have to let anger dictate your behavior. Taking breaks is a powerful strategy because it gives you the chance to stop the anger before it escalates. By creating physical and mental distance from the situation, you can regain control of your emotions and respond in a way that aligns with your values and goals. This technique is one of the easiest and most effective ways to manage anger in everyday life. One of the most powerful ways to control anger is by changing the way we think about the situation that makes us angry. Often, our anger is fueled by negative thoughts, such as "this isn't fair" or "I can't believe this is happening." These types of thoughts create a feeling of injustice and frustration, which leads to anger. But what if we could reframe those thoughts to change how we feel? Reframing is a cognitive technique that involves looking at a situation from a different perspective. Instead of focusing on the negative, you shift your thinking to find a more balanced or positive way to view the event. For example, if someone cuts you off in traffic, instead of thinking, "How dare they do that?" try thinking, "Maybe they're in a hurry or having a bad day." This simple shift in perspective can help reduce feelings of anger and frustration. Reframing doesn't mean ignoring the problem or pretending everything is fine. It means changing how you interpret the situation, which can help you respond in a calmer and more rational way. When we see things from a different perspective, it becomes easier to control our emotions and prevent them from escalating into anger. One of the key aspects of reframing is recognizing that our thoughts are not facts. Just because we think something is unfair or wrong doesn't mean it is. Sometimes, our anger is based on assumptions or judgments that may not be accurate. By challenging these thoughts, we can reduce the intensity of our anger. For example, if you're angry at a colleague for missing a deadline, instead of thinking, "They don't care about this project," try thinking, "Maybe they're struggling with their workload or facing personal issues." This shift in thinking allows you to approach the situation with more empathy and understanding, rather than letting anger cloud your judgment. Reframing also involves asking yourself useful questions to change your mindset. For instance, when you're feeling angry, ask yourself, "What can I learn from this situation?" Or, "How can I solve this problem?" By focusing on solutions instead of the problem itself, you can reduce your anger and feel more in control of the situation. Another important part of reframing is learning to let go of perfection. Often, we get angry because things don't go the way we expect them to. We feel upset when people don't meet our standards or when situations don't align with our desires. But by accepting that life is imperfect, we can reduce frustration and let go of unnecessary anger. Instead of saying, "This should have been better," say, "I can make the best of this situation." Reframing negative thoughts is not always easy, especially when we are upset. But with practice, it becomes a valuable tool for controlling anger. The more we train ourselves to look for alternative perspectives, the more we can reduce the intensity of our anger and respond in a more balanced way. By changing our thinking, we can transform how we feel. Instead of letting anger control us, we can choose to respond with understanding, empathy, and patience. Reframing helps us take a step back from our emotions and approach difficult situations with a clearer mind. In the next part, we will explore how practicing gratitude can also help reduce anger and improve our overall well-being. One of the most effective ways to control your anger is by focusing on gratitude. It might sound surprising at first, but gratitude can have a powerful impact on our emotional state, including how we handle anger. When we focus on what we're grateful for, it shifts our attention away from what frustrates us and helps us see the bigger picture. When we are angry, our minds are often focused on what we lack, what has gone wrong, or what we feel is unfair. These negative thoughts fuel our anger and make it harder to let go of those intense feelings. Practicing gratitude interrupts this negative cycle by reminding us of the good things in our lives, which can help calm our emotions and give us a more balanced perspective. Gratitude works by changing our focus. Instead of dwelling on the problem that is making us angry, we start to think about the positive aspects of our lives. This simple shift can help us see things in a new light. For example, if you're angry at someone for canceling plans, instead of thinking, "They're so inconsiderate," you might focus on the fact that you have the time to relax and take care of yourself. Gratitude reminds us that even in difficult situations, there are things we can appreciate. A great way to practice gratitude is by keeping a gratitude journal. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you are thankful for. These can be big or small, anything that brings you joy or comfort. It could be something as simple as a delicious meal you had, a nice conversation with a friend, or the fact that you had time to relax. Writing down these positive moments helps train your brain to focus on the good things, rather than on what is frustrating or angering you. Another way to practice gratitude is by taking a moment to pause during the day and think about what you're thankful for. This can be done anywhere, at work, at home, or even in the middle of a stressful situation. When you feel anger building, stop for a moment and think about something you're grateful for. It could be something as simple as appreciating the warm sun on your skin or the love of your family. This act of focusing on gratitude can help ground you and stop anger from taking over. Studies have shown that people who regularly practice gratitude experience less stress and anger. They tend to be more positive, optimistic, and resilient in difficult situations. Gratitude helps us reframe our experiences and see them through a more positive lens. When we focus on what's going well in our lives, it becomes easier to let go of the small annoyances that might trigger anger. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring your emotions or pretending that everything is perfect. It simply means shifting your focus from what's wrong to what's right. By practicing gratitude regularly, you train your brain to notice the good things in life, which can help you manage your anger more effectively. In conclusion, gratitude is a simple but powerful tool for controlling anger. By regularly focusing on what we are grateful for, we can shift our mindset, reduce negative emotions, and handle challenges with a calmer, more positive attitude. In the next part, we will discuss how setting healthy boundaries can also help reduce feelings of anger and frustration. Setting healthy boundaries is a crucial step in managing anger and maintaining emotional well-being. Boundaries are the limits we set for ourselves and others regarding what is acceptable behavior and what is not. When we have clear boundaries, we protect ourselves from situations or people that trigger negative emotions like anger. Without boundaries, we may feel overwhelmed, taken advantage of, or disrespected, which can lead to frustration and anger. One of the most common reasons for anger is the feeling of being pushed beyond our limits. Whether it's at work, in relationships, or in daily life, when people don't respect our boundaries, we feel disrespected, and this can cause anger. If someone constantly interrupts you, ignores your needs, or demands too much of your time, it's easy to become upset. But when we don't set boundaries, we often allow others to treat us in ways that feel unfair, leading to feelings of helplessness and resentment. Setting boundaries is about recognizing your needs and taking action to protect them. It's about knowing your limits and being willing to assert them, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. For example, if a friend frequently calls you late at night when you need rest, setting a boundary could mean telling them, "I'm available to talk during the day, but I need my evenings to unwind and rest." This simple statement helps you protect your time and prevents feelings of anger from building up over time. Healthy boundaries are not about shutting people out or being selfish. They are about creating space where you can feel respected and secure. By clearly communicating your boundaries, you allow others to understand your needs, which helps reduce misunderstandings and frustration. When you set boundaries, you are showing others how to treat you and teaching them to respect your emotional needs. In some situations, setting boundaries may involve saying no to requests or obligations that you cannot or do not want to take on. It's important to remember that it's okay to say no. Saying no does not make you a bad person. In fact, it's a sign of strength and self-respect. Saying yes to everything can leave you feeling drained, overwhelmed, and ultimately angry. By setting limits, you create space for yourself and prevent burnout. Setting boundaries also involves recognizing when you need time for yourself. For example, if you're feeling stressed or angry, it's okay to tell people, "I need a break," or "I'm not ready to talk right now." Taking time to recharge allows you to return to the situation with a clearer mind and more controlled emotions. It's important to note that setting boundaries is a skill that takes time and practice to develop. It's normal to feel guilty or uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to putting others' needs before your own. But over time, You will realize that setting boundaries not only reduces your anger, but also helps you feel more in control and at peace. In conclusion, setting healthy boundaries is an essential practice for managing anger. By knowing your limits, communicating your needs, and protecting your emotional space, you can reduce frustration and prevent anger from taking over. In the next part, we will explore the role of self-compassion in managing anger and how being kind to yourself can help you stay calm in difficult situations. One of the most important things we can do to control anger is to practice self-compassion. Self-compassion means treating ourselves with the same kindness, understanding, and patience that we would offer a good friend in times of struggle. When we're angry, it's easy to become frustrated with ourselves for feeling this way. We might think, "Why am I so upset over this? I should be stronger than this." But these kinds of thoughts only fuel the anger and make it harder to calm down. Instead, practicing self-compassion helps us respond to our anger in a healthy way. When we practice self-compassion, we allow ourselves to feel our emotions without judgment. Instead of criticizing ourselves for feeling angry, we accept that it's okay to feel this way. Anger is a natural human emotion, and feeling angry doesn't make us a bad person. We are simply experiencing an emotion, and it's okay to acknowledge it. For example, the next time you feel angry, instead of saying to yourself, "I shouldn't be angry," try saying, "It's okay to feel angry. I am human, and emotions are a part of life." This simple shift in mindset helps reduce the intensity of the emotion and allows you to handle it more effectively. Self-compassion also means recognizing that anger often comes from unmet needs. For example, if someone has treated you unfairly, your anger might stem from a need for respect or fairness. When you practice self-compassion, you can gently ask yourself, "What do I need right now?" You might realize that what you need is not to express anger, but to communicate your feelings calmly and assertively. Another key aspect of self-compassion is forgiving yourself when you make mistakes. Everyone gets angry sometimes, and it's natural to express it in less than ideal ways. If you snap at someone or say something hurtful in the heat of the moment, don't be too hard on yourself. Instead, acknowledge what happened, apologize if necessary, and use it as a learning opportunity. Remember that no one is perfect, and we all make mistakes. What matters is how we learn from them and grow. By practicing self-compassion, we are better able to manage our emotions and prevent anger from taking over. When we treat ourselves with kindness, we reduce the pressure to be perfect, which can help us stay calm in difficult situations. Self-compassion allows us to process our anger in a healthy way without letting it control our behavior. In conclusion, self-compassion is a powerful tool for controlling anger. By accepting our emotions, forgiving ourselves, and treating ourselves with kindness, we can better manage our anger and respond with understanding and patience. In the next part, we will discuss how physical activity can help reduce anger and improve our mood. Physical activity is one of the most effective ways to manage and release anger. When we are angry, our bodies are filled with tension, stress, and adrenaline, and exercise helps to release these built-up emotions in a healthy way. Moving your body allows you to channel that anger into something positive, helping to calm your mind and reduce negative feelings. Exercise works by triggering the release of endorphins, which are chemicals in the brain that help to improve mood and reduce pain. When you engage in physical activity, your body's stress response decreases, and you start to feel more relaxed. This is especially helpful when you're feeling overwhelmed by anger, as it gives your body a chance to reset and return to a calmer state. There are many ways to incorporate physical activity into your routine to manage anger. You don't need to do anything extreme. Simple activities like going for a brisk walk, doing yoga, or even stretching can help to release tension. For example, if you're feeling frustrated or angry, try going for a walk outside. The fresh air, combined with the movement, will help you clear your mind and release some of that built-up anger. If you enjoy more intense forms of exercise, activities like running, cycling, or weightlifting can also be great ways to release anger. These types of exercises allow you to focus on the movement and the physical effort, helping to distract you from your anger and release the energy that is making you feel tense. Yoga is another excellent option for managing anger. It combines physical movement with deep breathing techniques, which can help to calm both the body and the mind. By focusing on your breath and your body, you can release physical tension and bring yourself back to a more peaceful state. Certain yoga poses, such as child's pose or downward dog, can help to reduce stress and promote relaxation. The important thing is to find a form of physical activity that works for you. It doesn't matter whether it's a high-intensity workout or a low-key walk. It's about using movement to release the anger and tension that is building up inside. Even if you only have a few minutes, a quick burst of physical activity can help calm your emotions and bring you back to a more balanced state. Incorporating regular physical activity into your daily routine is also a great way to prevent anger from building up in the first place. When we stay active, our bodies are better equipped to handle stress and negative emotions. By making exercise a habit, you give yourself a powerful tool to manage anger and improve your emotional health. In conclusion, physical activity is a natural and effective way to release anger. Whether it's through walking, running, yoga, or any other form of exercise, moving your body helps to reduce stress, improve your mood, and release tension. By making physical activity part of your routine, you can better manage anger and respond to challenging situations with a clearer, calmer mind. In the next part, we will discuss the importance of seeking support when you need help managing your anger. Managing anger on your own can sometimes be challenging, and it's okay to seek support when needed. Talking to someone about your feelings of anger can help you gain perspective, feel understood, and find solutions to the problem. It's important to remember that asking for help doesn't make you weak. It's a sign of strength and self-awareness. When you're feeling angry, it can be helpful to talk to a trusted friend, family member, or therapist. Sharing your feelings with someone else can help release the emotional pressure that builds up inside. Sometimes, just expressing what you're going through can make you feel lighter and less burdened by anger. Talking to a friend or family member can also offer new insights into the situation. They may be able to provide a fresh perspective or suggest ways to handle the issue that you hadn't considered. Often, when we're in the middle of anger, we can only see things from our point of view, but sharing our thoughts with someone else can help broaden our understanding. In some cases, professional support can be incredibly beneficial. A therapist or counselor who specializes in anger management can help you explore the deeper causes of your anger and teach you specific techniques to manage it. Therapy can provide a safe, non-judgmental space where you can discuss your emotions, gain coping skills, and learn strategies for changing negative thought patterns. Support groups are also an excellent option for managing anger. In a support group, you can connect with others who are experiencing similar challenges. Talking to people who understand what you're going through can reduce feelings of isolation and help you realize that you're not alone in your struggle. Support groups also provide a sense of accountability, as members can encourage each other to use healthy coping strategies and stay committed to improving their emotional health. If you feel like your anger is overwhelming or causing harm to your relationships or daily life, it's important to seek help as soon as possible. Uncontrolled anger can lead to negative consequences, including damaged relationships, health problems, and missed opportunities. Taking steps to address your anger is an investment in your well-being and your future happiness. There's no shame in asking for help, whether it's from friends, family, or a professional. In fact, reaching out for support can be one of the most powerful actions you can take to regain control over your emotions. It shows that you're willing to grow and improve, and that you value your emotional health. In conclusion, seeking support is an important part of managing anger. Whether you talk to friends, family, a therapist, or a support group, having someone to lean on can make a huge difference in how you handle anger. Don't hesitate to ask for help when you need it. In the next part, we will look at how developing emotional intelligence can improve your ability to manage anger and other emotions. One of the most important skills for managing anger is developing emotional intelligence, EI. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our emotions, as well as the emotions of others. When we develop emotional intelligence, we can handle our feelings of anger in healthier ways and respond to situations more calmly and thoughtfully. Emotional intelligence consists of several key components, including self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, and social skills. These skills help us better understand why we feel the way we do and how to control our emotional reactions. Self-awareness is the ability to recognize and understand our emotions as they occur. When we become more aware of how we feel, we can catch anger before it builds up. For example, if you notice yourself starting to feel frustrated or irritated, you can acknowledge the emotion before it turns into full-blown anger. Being self-aware helps you understand the triggers that make you angry and gives you the chance to manage those feelings before they take over. Self-regulation is the ability to control our emotions and reactions. It involves staying calm under pressure and choosing not to act impulsively when we feel angry. Self-regulation can be developed through practices like mindfulness, deep breathing, and taking breaks when needed. By practicing self-regulation, we can avoid saying or doing things in anger that we might regret later. Empathy is another important aspect of emotional intelligence. Empathy allows us to understand the feelings of others and respond with kindness, even when we're upset. When we practice empathy, we are more likely to consider the other person's point of view and respond in a way that is respectful and calm, rather than letting anger guide our actions. For example, if someone cuts you off in traffic, practicing empathy might help you think, maybe they're having a bad day, instead of getting angry at them. Social skills are also crucial for managing emotions. Having good social skills allows us to communicate effectively, resolve conflicts, and build positive relationships. When we are able to express our emotions in healthy ways and listen to others with understanding, it becomes easier to handle anger and find solutions to problems without escalating the situation. Developing emotional intelligence takes time and practice, but it is a powerful tool for managing anger. The more we improve our EI, the better equipped we are to handle difficult emotions and respond to challenges in a calm and constructive way. In conclusion, emotional intelligence is a key skill for managing anger. By becoming more self-aware, practicing self-regulation, developing empathy, and improving our social skills, we can better understand our emotions and respond to situations with more control and composure. In the next part, we will discuss how mindfulness can help reduce anger and increase emotional balance. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, without judgment. It involves paying attention to your thoughts, feelings, and physical sensations as they happen, without reacting to them. When it comes to managing anger, Mindfulness is a powerful tool because it helps us step back from our emotions and observe them without letting them control us. When we are angry, our minds are often racing with negative thoughts, and we become focused on the source of our anger. We may feel as though we have no control over how we feel. Mindfulness helps break this pattern by encouraging us to pause and observe our anger rather than react to it. By practicing mindfulness, we can create a space between our emotions and our actions, allowing us to respond more calmly and thoughtfully. One of the simplest ways to practice mindfulness in moments of anger is through mindful breathing. When you start to feel your anger rising, take a moment to focus on your breath. Breathe in deeply through your nose, hold for a moment, and then breathe out slowly through your mouth. As you do this, bring your attention to the sensation of the breath entering and leaving your body. This simple practice can help you center yourself and prevent your anger from taking over. Another effective mindfulness technique is the body scan. This involves bringing your attention to different parts of your body and noticing any areas of tension. When we are angry, our bodies tend to tense up, and we may not even realize it. By doing a body scan, we can become aware of this tension and intentionally release it, which helps to reduce the physical symptoms of anger. Start by focusing on your toes, then move upward through your body, paying attention to any sensations or tightness. As you move through your body, consciously relax each area. You can also practice mindfulness through observing your thoughts. When you're angry, take a step back and notice what thoughts are running through your mind. Are you thinking, "This is unfair," or "I can't believe this is happening"? Mindfulness involves observing these thoughts without judgment. You can then remind yourself that these thoughts are just thoughts. They are not facts. Recognizing that your thoughts are temporary and not always true can help you distance yourself from the anger and see the situation more clearly. The key to mindfulness is practice. The more you practice being mindful, the better you will become at recognizing your emotions early and responding to them in a healthy way. Mindfulness can be practiced anytime, anywhere. It's a powerful way to gain control over your emotions and prevent anger from ruling your behavior. In conclusion, mindfulness is a powerful tool for managing anger. By focusing on the present moment, observing your emotions without judgment, and using techniques like mindful breathing and body scanning, you can reduce the intensity of your anger and respond more calmly. In the next part, we will discuss how changing your environment can help prevent anger from building up. Sometimes, the best way to manage anger is by changing your environment. Our surroundings play a significant role in how we feel and react to situations. When we're in a stressful or triggering environment, our emotions can become heightened and anger can build up more easily. On the other hand, changing our environment or creating a peaceful space can help reduce the intensity of our anger and bring us back to a calmer state. The first step in using your environment to manage anger is recognizing when it's time to remove yourself from a situation. If you are in a place or with people that are causing you to feel angry or stressed, it may be helpful to take a break. Whether you're at work, at home, or with friends, stepping away from the environment allows you to gain distance from the source of your anger and cool down. A change of scenery can help shift your focus and provide some relief from the pressure you're feeling. If you're unable to physically leave a situation, consider creating a calming space around you. This could mean finding a quiet room to sit in for a few minutes, stepping outside for fresh air, or even closing your eyes for a short moment of peace. It's important to have a place you can retreat to when emotions are running high. A quiet space can help you gather your thoughts, take a few deep breaths, and regain control over your emotions. Another way to use your environment to manage anger is by reducing distractions that may make the situation worse. If you're feeling angry during a conversation, for example, try to remove any distractions like your phone or TV. A quiet, focused environment allows you to communicate more effectively and prevents the situation from escalating further. It also gives you the space to process your feelings and express them clearly. The way we organize our living and working spaces also impacts how we feel. Clutter and disorganization can create a sense of chaos and stress, making it harder to manage emotions like anger. Taking the time to keep your space tidy and organized can have a positive effect on your mood and reduce feelings of frustration. Creating a calm and peaceful environment with elements that bring you joy, like plants, soothing colors, or calming music, can help improve your emotional state and prevent anger from taking over. In addition, spending time in nature is another way to reset your emotions. Studies show that being outdoors, especially in green spaces, can lower stress levels and help clear your mind. If you feel yourself getting angry, try to go for a walk in the park, hike in the woods, or simply sit outside and enjoy the fresh air. Nature has a calming effect on the mind and body, helping you return to a more peaceful state. In conclusion, changing your environment can be a powerful tool for managing anger. Whether it's removing yourself from a stressful situation, creating a peaceful space, reducing distractions, or spending time in nature, altering your surroundings can help you regain control of your emotions. In the next part, we will discuss how taking responsibility for your anger can help you prevent it from affecting your life. One of the most important steps in managing anger is taking responsibility for it. When we become angry, it's easy to blame others or external circumstances for how we feel. We may think, they made me angry, or it's their fault. However, the truth is that no one can make us feel anything. Our emotions, including anger, are our own responsibility. Taking responsibility for your anger means recognizing that you are in control of how you react to situations. While you can't always control what happens around you, you can control how you respond. By accepting that your anger is a result of your thoughts, beliefs, and reactions, you empower yourself to manage it in a healthy way. The first step in taking responsibility for your anger is to acknowledge that it's okay to feel angry. Emotions are natural, and everyone experiences anger at some point. It's not the anger itself that's the problem. It's how we choose to express it. When we take responsibility for our emotions, we stop blaming others and start focusing on how we can handle the situation in a constructive way. Next, ask yourself, why am I angry? Instead of focusing on the person or situation that triggered your anger, try to dig deeper. Are there underlying feelings like hurt, fear, or frustration that are causing your anger? Anger often masks other emotions, and by identifying these hidden feelings, you can better understand the root cause of your anger and address it directly. Taking responsibility also means not letting anger control your behavior. When you feel yourself getting angry, stop and give yourself time to think. Ask yourself, how do I want to handle this situation? Do you want to react with anger and say things you might regret? Or do you want to respond calmly and constructively? By taking a moment to pause and reflect, you give yourself the opportunity to choose a healthier response. Another important part of taking responsibility for your anger is learning to let go of grudges. Holding on to anger from past situations only creates more negative emotions and keeps you stuck in a cycle of frustration. Instead, focus on finding a way to move forward. Forgiveness, whether it's forgiving someone else or yourself, helps release the hold that anger has on you. It doesn't mean forgetting or excusing the behavior, but rather choosing peace over bitterness. In conclusion, taking responsibility for your anger is essential for managing it in a healthy way. By accepting that your emotions are your own, reflecting on the root causes of your anger, and choosing to respond thoughtfully, you can regain control of your emotions and prevent anger from affecting your relationships and overall well-being. In the next part, we will discuss how developing patience can help reduce anger and increase emotional stability. Patience is a key skill in managing anger. It's easy to become frustrated when things don't go as planned or when people don't behave the way we expect. However, developing patience can help you respond to these situations with greater calm and control rather than reacting with anger. One of the main reasons we become angry is that we feel things aren't happening fast enough or as we would like. When things are moving slowly, or when we're stuck in traffic or dealing with difficult people, our impatience builds up and anger follows. But by practicing patience, we can learn to accept that not everything will happen on our timeline, and that's okay. Patience is about learning to pause and wait calmly without getting frustrated. Instead of reacting immediately with irritation or anger, give yourself time to breathe and think. For example, if you're in a long line at the store and starting to feel frustrated, take a moment to remind yourself that getting upset won't make the line go any faster. Instead, try to focus on something positive, like a pleasant memory or an upcoming event, to keep your mind off the frustration. One way to practice patience is by setting realistic expectations. Often, our anger comes from having expectations that are too high or unrealistic. For example, expecting someone to always be on time or to always agree with our opinion can set us up for disappointment and frustration. By accepting that things won't always go as planned, we can better cope with situations when they don't meet our expectations. Another way to develop patience is to focus on the present moment. When we are patient, we are fully aware of what's happening right now, rather than thinking about how things should be. Mindfulness is a great way to practice being present. When you feel impatience or anger building, take a deep breath and bring your attention to the here and now. This simple shift in focus can reduce the intensity of your anger and allow you to handle the situation more calmly. In conclusion, developing patience is a powerful tool for reducing anger. By accepting that things won't always go our way and learning to be present in the moment, we can respond to frustration with greater calm and understanding. Patience gives us the ability to manage our emotions and handle life's challenges with a clearer, more peaceful mindset.